Helix.
Why is crisis communication planning important? So, Julie, give us kind of your thoughts on why we should care about this and why is it a plan an important thing for an institution?
Absolutely. So a crisis communication plan is always critical for an organization to have because of the things that are listed here on the screen. It gives us a framework to respond effectively and to respond quickly when something comes at us, right? In 2020, we've had a lot come at us. So it allows us to take a step back and to put into place a thoughtful plan that we were able to create when we weren't in crisis mode, right? We don't want to appear like we are just reacting or that we're panicking, because all of our stakeholders are going to be looking at us for that sense of calm and for that sense of organization. And so if we have that plan in place, although we can't predict everything, 2020 has proven that, we can't predict everything, it gives us a framework from which to work. And especially right now, our students are looking to us for that communication. So a survey just came out actually this morning, and over 6,000 students were polled about the communication that they had received from the colleges that they would be attending in the fall. And for the most part, nearly 70% of the students that responded that the communication was favorable. And the reason that they responded when they were asked, why do you think this, was because it was consistent, because it was immediate, because it was adaptive, it showed care, it was transparent, it didn't show panic. And these are all the things that we're able to do if we have a really well-established plan in place before we're slapped in the face with the crisis. So as you can see, some of the things that it allows us to do, it allows us to be proactive. We don't have that delay when the crisis occurs. We already have some initial messaging that we can use. It allows us to kind of triage possible crises so that we don't treat all of them with the same level of excitement, right? Some you can take a step back. And so it allows us ahead of time to decide what are our level 1 crises, what are our level 2 crises, and how do we want to respond to that? It allows us to very clearly identify who our audience is. And we have a lot of different stakeholders, and we'll talk a little bit more about this, but different stakeholders need to be communicated with in different ways. So we're not going to send the same message to our students as we do to the faculty at our institution, right? They're looking for different pieces of information. And so this allows us to know who our audience is and who our stakeholders are. The worst thing we can do is leave out a group of people, right, or overlook somebody. It helps us to know who needs to be involved, both in the planning process and the implementation process, so that we have that team. I'll call them our crisis management task force, right, our crisis task force. It allows us to know who's doing what so that nothing falls through the cracks. And then it allows us an opportunity to kind of do some role playing, right, some testing. So it's great if you have a plan. If you've never tested it, you have no idea if it's going to work or not when the crisis occurs. And so it allows us some framework to kind of play with that information.